Okay, fencing day today. I'm up here about to do some fencing. Usual thing at this time of year is you go around the boundaries and just check out what is needed to be done. And I'm out in the maize field. I've got to do that pretty soon because I won't be able to access through to get the work done. So I've just got my load of tools. I've got chainsaw, I don't need that. I've just cut some branches down actually. I've got a Harry in the front. Harry, hello, say hello. Harry's in the front, he's on my phone playing a game. Right, I've got these creosoted stakes. Now these are, I've started using these now because they're going to last longer than the normal Tannalized, I think. They're more expensive, about £4.50 each, I think they were. The weight of them, they're quite heavy because they've soaked up all the creosote. And they smell. Oh, I like the smell of creosote in the morning, as they say. Oh, I love that. They're proper creosote as well, not the kind of Creocoat stuff you get that isn't really creosote. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with that. We'll have a look up there at the fence posts that are off, and then I'm going to take some tools up there and get these in. I am basically up here to repair some fences in the lovely bluebell wood. Look at this. Beautiful. Anyway, look at this. Classic rotted off posts. So, got one there that's gone, one there, I don't, keep going. Definitely two off. Oh look, this wobble one here, look, that's an oak post actually, look. These are pretty old. I haven't put an oak post in here for donkey's years. So I'm going to have to take those off. I'm going to put 3 new posts and stakes in. And I've got some creosoted posts to put in their place. Let's have a look. Thank you, Harry. You can go back. You can go back and play on your game now. Okay, so got my tools out. It also takes the time just lugging stuff around. What's interesting is I think I need to invest in a new spade. This is a spade that's been on the farm all my life. It's my dad's old spade. And if you look at that, I think when it started life, it was probably about that long, and it's gradually worn down. Look, it's smooth around the edges. It's a good spade, but you know, you can't dig very deep because it's all worn away. Anyway, that's all I got with me at the moment. So, first thing to do, take the staples off the old stakes, and then dig some holes. Let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm using a punch. Now, I've lost my good punch. I bought this one off eBay. It's not really what I wanted. So I've got to get a better one at some point, but it'll have to do for now. So the idea is to punch behind the staple, and then the staple will come out of the post. So let's have a look if I can find the staple. So the staple's just here. I can see it. Might even be able to get the nail behind it. There we go, that's one off. Got to do the one below. That's funny, I've just realised I've lost the actual tool I had for getting bits of wire and stuff out. Here we go. So there's the old staple there, a bit bent. I'll probably be able to reuse that one. The other top one wasn't any good. And there we go. That is, look at that, the rotted off post. Now, I've been using Tannalized posts for a long time. I really ought to put this tripod up higher, shouldn't I? No, I haven't got to bend down. Used Tannalized posts for a long time, but they don't really last. So I've actually switched to these creosoted ones as an experiment, because my time is precious. So even if these cost more money, it's got to be worth it, I think. So I'm going to have to put a hole in and a bar hole and then whack them in. Let's just put these tools away a minute and we'll see how we go. Okay, so I'm back with my trusty spade. I'm going to put a spade hole in here. The problem with digging around here is it's very rocky. It's on the side of a hill. Quite possibly I'll hit stone. if you're really lucky, you can find the old bar hole. But this actually is actually a boundary rather than that. I'm not so worried about keeping stock out. We don't put stock out here. There's no stock that side. It's more a case of making sure you keep the boundary there, because I don't, you know, there's no point in letting this fence deteriorate because it's our neighbours. It's Tortworth Estate the other side, and ours this side, and there's no dispute over who owns what or anything. But I think it's always important to mark your boundary and keep that boundary intact, if you like. So let's just zoom in on that. You can see what we're doing. Oh, you take my gloves on and off. Digging this out. Pretty dry actually. Pretty dry in there. And if you look at this soil, that is, it's like dust. You wouldn't think we'd had any rain the other day. Right, that's probably going to be okay. I'm just going to get a bar and we'll put a bar hole in there. Okay, nothing too complicated with this. It's just a big long steel bar. The sheer weight of it means that you can get a good hole in the ground. And then you wiggle it around to make it a bit wider, so the stake could go in there. Right, and now I've done my bar hole, I've just got to get my stake in there. There you are. Right, and then I'm going to whack it in with my sledgehammer. Okay, so all I've got to do now is whack that stake down with a sledgehammer. Some people use a post rammer. I've been brought up all my life using a sledgehammer actually. My dad always used a sledgehammer, so I've never really used a post rammer. This sledgehammer, it should have a weight written on it somewhere. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, I'm going to tell you in a second. How heavy, do you have a guess? How heavy do you reckon that is? In old money. Old money? I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 14 pounds. That weighs 14 pounds. Okay, it's a 14-pound sledgehammer or lump hammer. So I'm just going to whack the top of that post in, and that should, 14 pounds of steel should get that down. Okay, so that's done a job. Look, quite interesting. You can see the creosote in it actually has come out on the hammer. And you can see that creosote sniffing. Makes a change from welly sniffing, doesn't it? But have a look at the top. The only thing about using this sledgehammer is it has split the top, which you don't get. Look at that. You don't get that with a rammer, post rammer. Let's have a look. So it has mashed up the top of the stake a bit. I wonder whether that's because it's so damp though with the creosote, because I don't normally have that problem, otherwise I wouldn't do it all the time. It's not going to matter. These posts, I can tell you this now, these posts never rot out at the top. They always rot out at ground level. This is where they'll rot. It's the action of the water and the dryness. They dry out, they get wet, they dry out and they get wet just on the ground line. And they'll always rot out there. So I'm hoping that that will outlast. Now it's got this creosote in it, and you can see, like I said before, it's really impregnated. And you can see also that chunk's come off, proving that it has soaked into the wood. 'Cause it's, the problem with those tannalised stakes, sometimes you get a flake off and you see the stuff is only soaked in about 1/2 centimetre. So that should be, even though I've damaged the top, this stake should be pretty good for quite a while. So just got to fill the earth in and then we're done. And just got to get the rest done. That stone can go in there. It will firm up over time as well. You find that if you put stuff in, God, I can't stamp that down very well because I've got a flipping wire in the way. Staples. There we go. Put that on there. About height, about, I don't need to strain this. Right, so there you go. I've put one stake in along here. I've got the rest to do here, but it kind of gives you an idea of what I'm doing around the farm in the spring. You can repeat this around all the boundaries. It's amazing how many stakes I have to replace every year. It's a continual cycle of gradually going along, replacing some each year. And I'm hoping that now I've switched to these creosote posts, it's going to slow down that cycle a bit. I should have done it years ago really, but you sort of get into a habit of always using the tannalised ones. I also think that the tannalised ones don't last like they used to. I'm pretty sure that they've changed the formula of the chemicals and things that they use to treat them. And like a lot of things, the safety elements are a lot better, but I think the activity of the chemicals isn't quite as good. But creosote is a proven thing. It's not rocket science, new technology. So we'll see how we go on these. So we'll have to remember that we did this in 2020 and see how long this stake lasts, won't we? I think if you can all remind me to come and check it in 5 years' time, see whether it's still okay. All right, crack on. I'm going on. Harry's still sat in the Land Rover. I might have to get him out and do something because he's going to be on that little. He's playing a little cow jumping game. Anyway, cheers, guys. Okay, so I've got 3 posts in. Interesting, I've just finished off and picked up this little leaflet that was on actually stapled to one of the posts, and this is quite interesting. So Burt Bolton Haywood is giving you the details of the company who provide them. I'm not plugging these, by the way, I'm just saying I've got these from Mole Valley, but I've never seen this leaflet before. I'm going to keep this and have a look on their website later. Interesting, it says pine blah blah blah, product code blah blah blah, but the main thing is and I think I've just the bit's missing at where my finger is, but it says, I think it says Burt timber is treated with in the UK to give it an expected service life of 40 years plus. Well, if that's definitely true, if these are guaranteed to last 40 years, or supposed to last 40 years, that's definitely a really worthwhile thing to put these in rather than the tannalised ones. Unfortunately, as I'm 51, am I going to be around in 40 years to check these? I don't know. So bear this in mind, everyone who's watching this video. This is done in 2020. If any of you want to pop up to Titherington, take the footpath to Jones's Furlong Wood and just check and see if these posts are still here in 2060. You can let me know. Well, let my kids know. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? I'm going to get Harry out to give an inspection anyway, because he's still sat in the Land Rover playing the game. Harry, are you going to come and inspect my handiwork? Come on, mate. Put the phone down. Come on. Can't have you skiving all the time. I just want to give me an opinion. Don't touch them because they've got creosote on them. Probably not good. What have I put on your hands? That'll be right. That one's a bit wobbly because I haven't firmed it in properly. But it's only a boundary marker. I haven't got to keep any cat out. Do you think they're all right? That's the rotten old ones. Do you think these will do though?
Yeah.
Good. Marks out of 10 for Dad's handiwork?
10.
10. That's generous.
No, 9.
That's a generous 10. A generous 9 from Harry. I think I've only given myself about 7 on this because they're a bit wobbly. I did split a post. But hey, it's real life. I haven't edited that out. So anyway, right, that's it. I'm off. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to go and walk up and just check the rest of the post. Boundaries some more rotted off, but I don't know if I'll have time to do those today. But anyway, stay safe. Oh, do you know what? I have. You probably notice I have my up days and my down days on with things like when you get a shock about the milk price and things like that, or the milk, you know, potentially being not picked up. But on the positive, look at this behind me. Can you see the bluebells? What a jammy. Look, let me just zoom in. What a jammy man I am to be out here in this wood at this time of year. Look at that. I don't know whether you can see that. The bluebells up there, absolutely stunning. The beech trees with their leaves just coming out. You know, I think you can. I've taken some pictures of these, but you can never do it justice. You can never do justice of nature in this field, or not in this field, in this wood. Just look at it. It's beautiful. There's this gentle breeze. You know, just lucky to be out here, really. Right, I'm gonna go. Crack on. See you guys later. I've waffled enough.